really isn't about them versus them. It's about us. What happened to concepts like respect, integrity, humility, honesty?
Were you a fan of Alejandro Amenábar before? Did you know his movies?
His work? Okay, so here's the thing. I've got to be the worst actor on earth because I never know who anyone is, actors, nothing. I'm terrible with people's names. I'll know the show, but won't necessarily know the director's name or the actor's name. I mean, I barely remember my own name. So I had seen Alejandro's work before, but I hadn't put the two together. And then, of course, when I did, my agent said, oh, look, you've been offered this, Alejandro Amenábar. Oh, yeah, that show. Oh, my God, yes, of course. I love his work. And playing with some of my favorite actors in the world, which are Clark Peters. Clark Peters, you know, his voice is just like velvet when he speaks, right? And Stanley Tucci, who's just a crack, you know, he's fantastic. So the opportunity to work with those people and to work in Madrid as well, and to work with a Spanish crew. So there's so many reasons, there's so many ticks to accept the offer, and what a beautiful offer it was. So yeah.
I wanted to ask you, speaking of Stanley Tucci and your character and Atlantis, do you think it was important for this story to make them at first a little bit ambiguous, so the audience kind of root for them at the beginning when Frank Wilde says the powerful speech of the treasure would be in the ocean if it weren't for us? Do you think it's important to make the evil people in the show a little bit?
I mean, you always need you have your protagonist, and you always need that, don't you? Otherwise, it's a very boring show, quite frankly, right? It is, and it's nice when there's a twist. And I think what Alejandro, and if you're really listening, what Alejandro really picked up on is that who is the bad guy, who is the good guy, right? Mm-hmm. So yes, although it's based on a true story, the comics, and he has artistic license, let's not forget that this actually happened in history, right? So are Atlantis the good guys or the bad guys? Are the Kingdom of Spain the good guys or the bad guys? Or are they both the bad guys, right? We have to remember this gold was coming back from the colonies. And we're saying that the great colonies, the great empire, there's nothing to be glorified. The same way those people died on that ship because the bloody British, that tiny little island, has gone around the world and destroyed, decimated the place. But the Spanish also did the same, which is why they were able to get that gold on the ship in the first place. It never belonged to them in the first place. So you have this modern day thief, pirate, right? Now fighting these dead pirates, right? And then the Kingdom of Spain jump in, they're all pirates. Every single one of them are pirates. We have 500 million pieces of gold, the equivalent of 500 million pounds. I don't know, I think it's dollars. It's a bit less than pounds. I don't know what, I can't do the maths. I can only speak other people's lines. And that's in museums, and it's great. Oh, we get to see this beautiful piece of history. But those people in Peru, which is now called Peru, are still feeling the legacy of Spanish imperialism. Wouldn't that be better spent on education, on maternity, on food, housing, clothing, the very basic things that we need to thrive in humanity? So, the question is, who are the bad guys?
I could hear you talk like all day.
You don't, you get bored.
It's amazing. Yeah. So I also wanted to talk to you about one of your main scenes, which is the trial scene.
Yes.
Here in Spain, we don't have a tradition of courtroom dramas.
Right.
But how did you prepare as an actor and with the cast and Alejandro this particular scene? And do you think he managed to get how courtroom American?
Yeah,
courtroom?
I think he did a very good job of that. And also we had a rehearsal, and there's some things were like, I can't remember what he said. It was in the script. I said, no, they don't say that. They say object. They would object, no, whatever, you know. And so then they had an advisor as well. So we would go back and say, make sure that it was as close to the real thing as possible. And in America and the UK, oh, they love a courtroom drama. They love a crime drama, you know. So you grow up seeing these courtroom dramas, and you know, actually the real thing's rather boring. Sometimes. Being in court can be quite rather boring. But so yeah, I think he did a really good job of that. And it looked so beautiful, didn't it? Oh my God.
I think it's one of my favorite scenes in the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me
But
too.
I love a little bit of theatricals in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Americans are very good.
They're so good at doing it. One of my favourite shows of all time was The Good Wife.
Yeah.
You know, right? And Scandal, just like those powerful. Oh, brilliant! So I love a courtroom drama.
Me too.
Courtrooms are even more boring here in Spain.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You do the
No drama?
Roman system and everything.
Oh.
Here you couldn't do a show. Yeah.
Oh no.
You do.
Oh, okay. It's because you're all too, you know, you're all tranquilo. So that's why. No drama. Let's just eat some pinchos and drinks. And
Yeah.
yeah.
We're better at that. Yeah. The last shows you've been in, I'm a huge fan. I think
Yeah.
they're one of the most special shows in the last years. Sex Education, Years and Years, Bly Manor. So I want to ask you if the success of these shows, or particularly one of them, maybe caught you by surprise, or do you feel no, they are meant to get to the audience? Yeah.
Okay, so the three shows you're talking about. So Sex Education, the offer came in 3 times, and I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. No. I love that show, and if I do it, if I become a part of it, it's going to spoil the illusion. I'm not going to be able to watch it anymore. It's too good. She's such a small part. No, I don't want to do it. I like watching it. They asked me 3 times, and I said, okay, all right. I looked at my bank account and went, okay, I'll do it. But also, you know, they'd asked me 3 times and I did it, and I was so happy I did. It's as much fun as it is to watch, and as much as you laugh, it is to film it. It's just the perfect, and years, I think that just has to be one of the most important shows of this generation, in terms of what it's talking about. You know, its themes, and Russell T Davies does this all the time. And his words are just glorious as an actor, but it's one of those shows that the message is bigger than you, and you just feel humbled to be a part of that, to tell this story, and just hope that you can do it justice. And although it's fictitious, we know each of those people, we know them. They're either ourselves, we see them in our family or friends, and so I expected that to do very well. I remember we were filming, Russell was like, oh, I don't know if people are going to like it. I said, are you stupid? You could film this on an iPhone, right? And people would like this. I mean, because of the words. You just got to stand, say the words, that's it. Haunting of Bly Manor was a surprise. How much people responded, particularly to my character. And not the show, because, you know, it's Mike Flanagan, and he's a legend in and of himself. But how people responded to my character that took me. It's months later. It's nearly a year, and I'm like, oh wow, it's still quite a surprise, a shock, a beautiful surprise. Yeah.
Mike gets to make characters in a genre show that you are really invested in their stories. And,
yeah. Because they're about relationships. The genre is almost subsequential, isn't it? Really. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. You work in American industry, in UK industry, which are very powerful. You get to work now in Spain. What do you think it stands in the Netflixes and the BBCs of the industry, Spanish industry, particularly with this?
What do I think the Spanish industry stands?
What do you think of it now that you work in the Spanish industry?
Oh, I see. I mean, I don't know. I worked with a Spanish crew before.
Yeah.
For me, it's just all about the story. It's not even about the English. I don't pay too much attention to that. It's job by job, family by family, because as you go on to do the next job, your family grows, you know, and there's some people that you, like Clark and I, we're still very much in touch, and Indy, and, You know, there's just, and Duncan, oh my God. There's so many people on that show and who are on the crew that I'm going to be meeting them this week. Now I'm in Madrid. You know, so it's about the family. It's never about the industry. It's always about the story, the character, and the family consequently. I don't remember what scene I filmed, but I do remember Saba, our camera assistant, right? And those are the things that you take away with you. But I do love working with the Spanish crew. So if there's any other Spanish directors out there, I'm free for a little while.
Es que, en el fondo, tú y yo somos piratas, ¿no?